From the picturesque Pacific Northwest and the city of Seattle, welcome inside Lumen Field, where all the 12s make it at home for the Seahawks. Today we continue on with the John Madden Thanksgiving celebration weekend. We've got a good one in store. It's the Minnesota Vikings and the Seattle Seahawks. Mike Tirico along with Greg Olson. Will Reichert will get this one started. And we are underway in the Pacific Northwest. And it'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive.
First down 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Get it! 60 Vikings, 60 Vikings.
They'll go play action with Milroe. Right away, they're coming after him, and they get him. A sack on the opening snap of the game. Puna 4. He gets in for the sack. It took a while, but that is his first on the year. Work to do now as they come up on 2nd and long.
Ready? 70 Lions. Let's go.
They'll run it for the first time. Here comes Zach Charbonnet. Well, that helps. It's going to be a much more manageable third down, getting some good yardage on that second down play.
These are tough situations. You want to stay out of 2nd and real long. You figure it's going to be a pass, but this is a nice changeup by the play caller. He keeps the ball on the ground, picks up a good gain, and now this third down got a whole lot more manageable.
Milroe on third down. Open man is Shaheed. That's complete. And he will have the first down. The drive will continue after a pickup of 8.
That's good.
The key to good route running, Mike, is deceiving. The man covering you into thinking you're doing one thing, and then you change it and do the other. And in this case, he had the defender thinking this was a vertical downfield route, and then next thing you know, he gets to his break point, he breaks in, and that ball's put right on the money for a big pickup.
So they come to the line for first down and 10.
Let's go. 70 Timberwolves. Let's go.
Now a run with Charbonnet. He'll try to push forward. He'll wind up getting 3 yards with that one. Blake Cashman up from the linebacker's spot to make the tackle. And play halted for a moment. We have an injured Seahawk player.
Ready up.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's 2nd and 7.
Come on. Set.
From the shotgun, it's Milroe. Complete to the former Buckeye, Jackson Smith and Jigba. And he's going to be out of bounds at the 41. Give him 14 on that one. It's good for a Seahawks first down.
First and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Charbonnet the back, and he goes straight ahead. And wow, tough to bring down that time. Surging forward for a pickup of 6. Second down.
Brings up 2nd and 4.
Here we go. Set.
Again, they'll give it to Charbonnet. Good running there. He's got the first down inside the 30.
It just seems like every time this guy touches the ball, he makes something happen, and not all of his runs are always going to be positive. He's kind of one of those guys that's going to get a 0, a 1, a 2, but it's the home run threat. It's the big plays that really tip the scales in your favor, and When you can generate those big explosive plays on the ground, man, it makes such a big difference for the offense. A bit of a quick hitter here, and what you're hoping for, Mike, is that the defense can't react quickly enough because the ball's coming out so hot, but they knew it was coming, and they end up holding them to just a short game.
Out of the gun, it's Milroe. Oh, got him again the second time with a sack on this opening drive. Andrew Van Ginkel. He works his way in, and that's now 5 sacks for him on the year. Play 10 of this opening drive. And here's third down. From the gun, it's Milroe. Down the field, he's got Barner. He got a lot of what he needed, but just not enough. The mark is a couple of yards shy of the first down. Here comes fourth down.
I think you got to go for it here, Mike. They've had this impressive opening drive where they've marched their way all the way down into the red zone, and the last thing you want to do here is settle for 3. This is the chance. Set the tone for the rest of the game, and let's see what they dial up here on fourth down.
That's taken in, and he's not going to get away. They got him right down after the catch. Great rally to the ball to force a turnover on down. They'll run. This is Jordan Mason. Whoa! Big gain on the ground here as he takes this up past the 40-yard line. And as for much more, 22 yards on the first play of the drive.
I think this is something that we can expect to see here, especially early, Mike, as this team gets into a rhythm. They want to lean on this run game. They feel like they have a lot of advantages over this defense, and you can see from the first play here why they feel that way.
That one pinballs around, but it is incomplete. Jawan Jennings was the intended target. And that will lead to a second down. In motion, it's Jefferson. On second down, here's Murray. He'll get this complete to his man out of the backfield. And they'll move this one down inside the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 19 in the air. First down, Minnesota.
You can't teach speed. And a guy like this is just a nightmare for these linebackers. He's got a running start at them. You have no idea which way he's going to go, and he ends up just running right by you.
They'll run. This is Mason. And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And that's it.
No gain on the play. Brings up second and 10. On the Seahawks, 38-yard line.
Now a second down throw for Murray. That's into the hands of Jordan Mason. And that'll go for a gain of 7. And it's going to set up third down. From the shotgun, it's Murray. He's got a receiver. It's Addison. And to be taken down with the first down as time will run out on this opening quarter. Vikings football as we begin this second quarter as they've got it with first and 10. On the ground is Mason. That one never got started. Defensive pressure too much, and they drop him in the backfield. So after the loss on first, here's second and 14. Out of the gun, it's Murray. And he's in. Jordan Addison. Touchdown, Minnesota. Touchdown number 9 for the year. And that is off the left upright. It's no good. And they are unable to tack on the extra point. Reichert out now following the touchdown as he kicks this one away. On the return, it's Rashid Shaheed. And And he is stopped at the 25. The drive will begin there.
At their own 25-yard line.
Cup 19! Cup 19! Here we go, shot! Mustang 18, Rattler, 18, Rattler. Ready?
On first down, it's Milrow. There's a short one taken in by Barner. He's not going to get too far, tackled after a gain of just a yard.
Yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8 at the 26-yard line.
Ready, ready.
So, from the 26-yard line, here's 2nd and 8.
Let's go. Warriors 70, 19 Lions. Ready, ready.
Throwing is Milrow. Huff brings it in left side. And he's out of bounds up beyond the 45-yard line.
It's a gain of 20.
20-yard pickup there. First down, Seattle.
1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Cougar 19. Let go.
They'll run it out of the gun with Charbonnet. He'll struggle to get back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe he gets a yard out of that one. It's 2nd down.
1-yard gain. Brings up 2nd and 9.
Ready.
To the air, it's Milrow. That's going to be incomplete. Coverage very good there. Contact jarring the ball loose. And it's going to force 3rd down.
And 9 yards.
All things considered, it's actually a pretty good pass. I mean, he puts the ball in a place where only his guy can catch it. But I think he hears those footsteps coming from that nearest defender, and he's not able to secure the catch through contact.
60, trap 60, 70 Ranger, 70 Ranger. 18, Pioneer.
On 3rd down, Milrow. Oh, they're on him in a flash, and he lost the football. The Vikings have got it. And he is going to bring this one back. It is a fumble recovery for a defensive touchdown. And Greg, you talked about it all week. Not just stop him with the defense, but make impact plays, and that is as big a play as you can ask for.
Yeah, and across the league, Mike, this continues to be a huge point of emphasis. Every defensive coach starts practice with takeaway circuits. How can we find ways to take the ball away? In this case, they force the fumble, scoop, score, 6 points.
And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
79 Broncos. Let's go now. Go.
Throwing now, Milrow on 1st down. That one to Zach Charbonnet. He'll be taken down rather swiftly after a gain of just 3. Ball on the 30 now. Here's 2nd down and 7.
Here we go. Here we go.
On the handoff, it's Charbonnet. And this is going to be a Seahawks 1st down. He'll get this up past the 40-yard line.
And these are the explosive runs that open everything up. There's all this conversation about the value of the run game, but when you take a look at the best running teams, Mike, it's not necessarily how many yards they run for, it's how many big plays do they generate on the ground. And when you can generate big plays on the ground, it makes everything so much more difficult for the defense. The drag route, we used to say this is day 1 install. Every single offense in the NFL has this sort of route, especially for the tight end position. And depending on the speed and the run after catchability of the tight end, sometimes it can lead to some of the biggest gains. Really nice job here by the quarterback, understanding what did he need to pick up a fresh set of downs. In this case, that underneath drag route was all it took. Get the ball into the hands of your receiver, pick up a 1st down.
Shut up.
Now Milrow on 1st down. Now he takes off. And he'll be forced out of bounds and pick up a couple on that one.
Nothing open here downfield. I think it's a good job just getting to the edge, getting something positive, getting out of bounds.
Now Milrow. And this is too far out in front. one's incomplete.
So at this stage of the game, Mike, that whole sideline, they're looking up at that scoreboard. They see the donut up there, and they're saying, we've got to get something going. You become a little desperate. You start pressing. In this case, they try to push something downfield. Deep pass, incomplete. You got to find a way to generate possessions while still searching for these big plays.
And he'll be out of bounds, well short of the line to gain, and that'll set up 4th down.
And it seems like he just cut that route a little too short. He's got to get more depth on the initial stem, and that way he makes sure when he catches the ball, it's beyond the sticks.
2 minutes remain here in this first half. We're back to Seattle after this. It's too long for a field goal. They'll go for it here on 4th down.
Catch match. Viking 18. 79 Broncos. Let's go.
They'll try and throw for it with Milroe. Got it with Smith and Jigba. And he will have the Seahawks 1st down. They come up with a big one there to keep the drive moving and then some.
Ready?
Seahawks, 1st down.
Ready?
10 at the 14-yard
19
line.
Tiger. 19 Tiger.
Again, it's Milroe. Taken in right side by Barner. After the catch, he gets that forward for a gain of 9.
And this is where the versatility of the tight end position really starts coming into play. Not only do they have to line up with their hand on the ground, but they can occasionally split out in the slot. And man, they're too fast for linebackers, and a lot of times they're too big for defensive backs.
Let's go. Ready?
Now, Milroe, this is a designed run, and nothing developed there. He'll get back to the 5, and that's all.
Clearly trying to catch the defense by surprise, Mike. If the draw works, it's a touchdown. But being down here in the red zone, this is a tough spot on the field to get away with running that draw play.
So now a timeout for the Vikings. That is their first. Clock will stop just under 30 seconds to go in this second quarter. They'll empty out the backfield as they come up for 3rd and a yard.
70 Timberwolves. Steady.
Here's Milroe to throw. And that one's incomplete. They really ratcheted up the coverage there, and they force 4th down.
So prior to that 3rd down call, Mike, I thought they put themselves in a pretty good situation. At that down and distance, they had run and pass, both at their disposal, but nice job by the defense being up to the task. Force the incomplete, brings up 4th down.
19 tight. Broncos.
They're going on 4th down. Milroe. And he's going to have that 1st down. They didn't want to settle for 3. And now it's 1st and goal. Now Seattle going to use the first of their timeouts. And they stop it with 19 seconds to go in this opening half. This drive has been methodical, but will they turn it into 6 points? It is 1st and goal. That's to the end zone, but it is incomplete. Jackson, Smith, and Jigba, the intended receiver. And it'll be 2nd and goal.
Let's go.
Carbonet. And he won't quite get in. Down to the 1, setting up 3rd and goal. Timeout Seahawks. That is their 2nd as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half.
Ready? Let go.
And this ball incomplete on 3rd down.
So with these RPOs, Mike, it really just comes down to trusting your quarterback to make split-second decisions and make the right read. And if you don't, you kind of just waste the down, and that's what we saw here.
They say no to the field goal opportunity before halftime. They're going to go for it on 4th and goal. And this will pay off. It is caught. A.J. Barner. Touchdown Seahawks.
You know, we spent so much time talking about the heroics of a game-winning drive to end the fourth quarter in 2-minute mode. Now let's talk about a 2-minute mode, Mike, at the end of the first half. It might not be in walk-off fashion, but I'll tell you what, executing that here, going into halftime, changes this entire game.
So, still the matter of 6 seconds remaining in this half. And the kick's away. We'll go ahead and just cede the touchback here. This ball over the back line. It'll come out to the 35. On first down, Murray. That's going to wind up incomplete. Not much time remaining. Time for one more snap here in this first half.
Solid rep there for this corner, Mike. I mean, to stay disciplined with his technique throughout the entire play. So often we see when the ball's put in the air, the defender can panic and they either get a pass interference or they misplay the ball. This time he times it perfectly and forces the incompletion.
Not wanting to take a chance this time. We'll keep this one on the ground. And that won't get a whole lot. Maybe a yard, but that's it. First half played out a bit as we expected. We'll see if there's a surprise coming up. Both teams set to go, and the second half is underway. From the 35, it's 1st and 10. A run. And here's Macy. And he'll get forward for a couple. It's second down.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
Back to the ground. He'll get it again. And he's going to take this past the 45. That's good enough for a first down.
Well, here's where you really see the value of having a good run. 3rd and short, 4th and short. The ability to just keep it simple, win up front, turn around, hand the ball to your back, and say, okay, more likely than not, we're going to get a fresh set of downs, maintain possession, and now continue to find opportunities to go generate points.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's 2nd down and 2. Murray. A short one taken by Hawkinson. And he'll be taken down after a gain of 3, but that is good enough for a first down.
Well, we'll give a little credit here defensively. Even though they allowed the first down, we've seen defenses really struggle bringing this big tight end to the ground, and they didn't allow him to pick up a bunch of yards after contact, but he was able to get just enough to pick up the first down.
Now give on the ground. He'll be stopped after a pickup of about 3. Linebacker Ernest Jones ends that play. Ball on the 40 now. Here's 2nd down and 7. Now Murray. Over the middle, that's the tight end Hawkinson. And they bring him down, but not until they get inside the 30-yard line. Here's 1st and 10.
Vikings, first down. 1st and 10 at the 27-yard line.
Play action. It's Murray. Into the familiar hands of Justin Jefferson. Now they are in business. Inside the 15-yard line. Just his first catch. They have held him in check so far, but that one gives him a first down. Space getting tight here, down to the 13-yard line. They work 1st and 10. Back to throw is Murray. To the goal line and in. Justin Jefferson. Touchdown, Vikings.
Mike, we used to have a saying that it was the responsibility of the receiver to run the route through the eyes of the quarterback. And I think this is a great example here. 2 guys clearly on the same page, quarterback expected his target to be in a certain place at a certain time. He's there, ball's delivered accurately. He's able to pick up the rest with his legs, and that's a big-time connection for the touchdown.
To throw again is Murray. This is caught. He's got it. And they tack 2 more onto their lead.
Mike, I think all of us can remember exactly where we were during a certain Super Bowl where throwing the ball this close to the goal line ended up being a disaster. But unlike that time, they ran this pass play to perfection, and the result, 2 points.
Will Reichard to kick off for the Vikings.
Reichard out now, following the touchdown, as he kicks this one away. Here comes the all-pro returner from last year, Rashid Shaheed. And a solid run back there. He'll get this out past the 30-yard line.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
19 Lions. Down.
They'll go play action with Milrow. Taking the deep shot for Smith and Jigba. That's over the middle and intercepted. Picked off by Juan Thornhill. Oh, big hole left side. And he's going to bring this one back the distance. Touchdown, Minnesota.
You know, it always amazes me, Mike, that these guys have all this energy, that following a long return like that then they can get into these big, elaborate celebrations. But listen, I don't blame them. You're a defensive guy. You don't get the ball in your hands very often. When you score, man, you better make the most of it.
Reichard out now, following the touchdown, as he kicks this one away. Shaheed now to return it. Across the 20, they'll mark him down before the 25-yard line. And that's where the offense will take over.
1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
So here's a 1st and 10 now. They'll start from the 24.
Let's go now. Rocco 80.
From the gun, it's Milrow. This to the right side, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Zach Charbonnet was the intended target. And it'll bring up 2nd down.
For the most part, he's been very accurate with the ball. I mean, he's completing over 60% of his passes, but because they haven't been able to get any big explosive plays, continue to push the ball downfield, hasn't really translated on the scoreboard just yet.
The ball deflected at least a couple of times, but it'll fall to the ground. It's incomplete.
So I actually really like the concept of the pass play, and I think if we see a little bit better pass protection, even just a second longer, that's probably a completed pass, but I think the pressure just sped his clock up just enough, Mike, that he wasn't able to get that ball exactly where it needed to be. I just don't like the look of this passing game, Mike. It just seems a bit erratic. On top of the 2 straight incompletions, they've already turned the ball over through the air. And truthfully, with how dangerous some of these throws have been, they're lucky it hasn't been even more.
And how about that play on special teams? Perfectly done. It checks up right at the 1-yard line. Play action now. And the pressure too great. He's sacked in the end zone. That's a safety. So first the decision to throw down here backed up near your own goal line. And the defense gets to the quarterback, sacking him, Greg, in the end zone for a safety.
Mike, anytime you're willing to call a pass backed up this deep in your side of the field, you have to trust that your quarterback is going to have the clock in his head to get the ball out of his hand. In this case, he holds on to it too long. The defense is able to get to him in the end zone, and it results in the safety.
1st and 10 at the 39.
From the 39, here's a 1st and 10.
70, ready, go!
Out of the gun, it's Milrow.
This is one of those throws where you're hoping you do most of the damage after the catch, but give credit to the defense. Once that ball was caught, they were on him quickly, and there was nowhere for him to go after the catch.
from the shotgun. It's Milrow. He lets one go, looking for Shaheed. And that ball out of reach toward the sideline. It'll be an incompletion.
They're trying to take the top off the defense, make them feel that vertical threat, and soften everything up. Wasn't a ton of separation downfield, at least not what they would have preferred, and ends it up being a wasted down.
And that is incomplete contact, but no flash. It's going to be fourth down.
Missed opportunities like these are a big reason why they find themselves down double digits here in the third quarter, Mike. Points on this possession could have gone a long way towards making this game competitive, but instead, poor execution, especially in the passing game, and it's another wasted drive.
And a nice return there. The offense not going to be backed up as much as they could have. Drive's going to start from beyond the 20.
At their own 22-yard line.
So 1st and 10 now. They'll start from the 22. They go play action now. Murray. That's to the left side and taken in by Jefferson. He's got a touchdown on the books from earlier, and that catch gets him a first down.
The Vikings, first down. A gain of 14. And the Vikings, first down.
Off the play fake. Here's Murray. Off he goes. Give him 11 on the scramble. And give them a new set of downs.
They got to do a better job of keeping the quarterback contained in the pocket all week, Mike, against mobile quarterbacks. You talk about rushing as a group. This time they get a little undisciplined with their rush lane integrity, and he makes them pay.
They'll go with a counter on first down. And the tackle's going to be made down at the 40-yard line. 13 more on that play, and quickly another first down.
First down. A gain of 13 yards. First down, Vikings.
2-2. Hot. 2-2.
They'll stay on the ground, and he's going to be taken down as time runs out on this third quarter of play. Here now, 2nd and 9 from the 39-yard line.
2-2.
On play action, Murray. A throw there on 2nd down, going to be incomplete.
A rare miss for a quarterback that we've seen really come out on fire throughout this entire contest. I mean, his completion percentage, Mike, is well above league average, and frankly, it's really the biggest reason why they find themselves out front.
He finds his big receiver, that's Jennings. And they're going to be set up in the red zone. They've got it inside the 15. On the move at the 14-yard line, it's 1st and 10.
And the Vikings,
They go play action with Murray. Now he'll run.
Well, that scramble is ultimately going to end up short of the first down, Mike, but it's going to help quite a bit. That's a great job by the quarterback. Just taking what the defense gives you, get downfield, pick up good yardage.
Handoff here, up the middle, and that big offensive line, clearing space. He's in. Gordon Mason, touchdown Vikings. And that touchdown probably, Greg, ends any small hopes of a comeback on the other side.
Yeah, and I think those chances, Mike, were small to begin with, but with that last score, I think this one is pretty much over.
Reichard, good with the extra point. And the Vikings will open it up even further here in this fourth quarter.
Will Reichard to kick off for the Vikings.
Reichard out now following the touchdown as he kicks this one away. Torrey Horton now to return it. Oh, nice return, but he takes a big shot at the end of it.
Take over first and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
Get it. 18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal.
On first and 10, it's Milrow. That's going to be incomplete. Hubbard, very stout. That's going to bring up second down.
I got high standards for offensive players, but in this case, Mike, I think I'm giving all the credit to the defender. He timed that one up perfectly, and what could have been an easy play ends up as an incomplete.
60 Vikings, 60 Vikings.
Milrow throwing on second down. Hunt brings it in left side. He'll dive for that first down, but it looks like he's just going to come up a little bit short.
Really nice timing on that slant route. You can tell the quarterback and the wide receiver are completely on the same page, and when executed at that level, it's virtually impossible to stop.
Milrow on third down, and that is incomplete.
Here we find the best laid plans sometimes do go astray. Every offense, Mike, what do they tell us? We want to stay ahead of the chains. We want to stay on schedule. This was a third and very reasonable. Incomplete on that third down try. Now brings up fourth and short.
Now Seattle going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll discuss what's to come as fourth down's looming. Kicking time for the Seahawks. They'll punt this one away. That one hit inside the 10, but it bounces forward into the end zone. Bring it back out to the 20-yard line. Drive will start on the ground. He'll gain 3 out of this, up to the 23. They face second down and 7. They'll stick with him again. And he'll be stacked up at the line of scrimmage.
So everything this defense talks about, Mike, is creating negative plays. It's one of the best run defenses in football. Everything is about suffocating you at the line of scrimmage, make you work for everything you get.
And this is going to be incomplete. That is great work there, making things difficult defensively. It'll set up a fourth down. On fourth down, the longtime special teams ace, Johnny Hecker, on to punt. Rashid Shaheed back to return this one. This one fielded out beyond the 25. And he'll be brought down. Short return. And they'll take over there.
At their own 33-yard line.
On first down, it's Milrow. His pass taken in by Shaheed. And he's brought down after a gain of 6 on first down. Here's a 2nd and 3 forthcoming. They'll go play action with Darnold. Finding room at midfield. And they get this one across midfield to the 47-yard line. His 5th catch of the afternoon. Good for a first down. A fresh set of downs to work with. It is first down and 10. Operating from the gun, it's Darnold. That one down the field, but it is incomplete.
Can't exactly put my finger on it, but it just seems like this entire game, like this passing game and this quarterback specifically, they've just been off. And whether it's missing these big shots downfield like he did there or just simple underneath layups, there's just something about him today that doesn't look right. And I think it's a big part of the reason they can find themselves trailing here in the fourth quarter.
Here's a 3rd and 10.
Third down and 10.
Here we go, set. 19 Tiger, 19 Tiger. Ready.
Again, it's Milrow. That one broken up, It is incomplete. This defensive secondary, they have been really a no-fly zone all game long. It continues here and brings up fourth down.
Every so often, Mike, you can see these offenses, and it looks like the passing game gets a little bit too predictable. And as the defense continues to flood the back end of these zones with extra defenders, they're continuing to force this quarterback to not only make some difficult throws, but to put the ball in harm's way. You have to give him credit, Mike. I mean, that shows a lot of faith in your kicker because that is an ambitious effort from that distance.
A handoff as they try to run it here. He's fighting to get back to the line of scrimmage, but can't get there. Dropped for the loss of a yard.
Well, they try to get the run game started here early on this drive, Mike, and they're just going to have to do a better job up front. There's really nowhere for this ball carrier to go. You never want to lose yards on first down, but that's exactly the case here.
They'll run on second down. And a much better result here. Give them 7, and it sets up third down.
Taken down at the 41. That's a gain of 7. Brings up 3rd and 5.
So 2 minutes left to play in the second half. Greg and I back for the conclusion in a moment. Murray on third down. They'll try to set up the screen here.
The best time to call a screen is when the defense is anticipating pass. Allow that defensive front to rush the passer. Just get through the offensive line enough before you drop it to your back. Get out behind those big offensive linemen and pick up the first down.
Contact up front. Did they get one of the defenders to jump? Down to a knee here. The defense still has a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they're going to use them. Second and 11. The defense can stop it twice more as the kneel down comes. So it is a win for our visitors, the Vikings. And it is their 3rd consecutive victory. They continue to play great football here in this latest stretch. And that'll do it for my partner, Greg Olson. For our entire team, I'm Mike Tirico. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long, everyone.